Greetings. Hi, I'm Dr. Walter Jacobson, a board certified psychiatrist. I want to talk about Comey and Lynch, the FBI, and the Attorney General in regards to this Hillary Clinton email thing. This is not about whether Hillary should be indicted or not, or whether she did anything wrong or not, or whether she's competent or not. This discussion, I believe, has relevance to everybody, everything. Your relationships with your world, with yourself, with other people, with your job, etc. I think there's significance here that has been lost because everyone's focusing on, her competency. Should she be indicted? This and that, all that kind of stuff. And that's actually, in my opinion, incredibly minor compared to the other significance that has occurred to me. Here's the deal. So Loretta Lynch, the Attorney General, says, I'm going to do whatever the FBI chief says. Whatever he recommends, that's what I'm going to recommend. Okay, so according to the story, she says this in order to show everybody that she wasn't biased by Bill Clinton having a secret conversation with her, that there was no conflict of interest, no bias, and consequently, to prove that, she will not put her 2 cents in, and she'll decide solely based upon the FBI recommendation. Okay, right. So look, here's the deal. That's not her doing her job. She's the boss. The boss doesn't take the word of some guy under her or him. No matter how much prestige and reputable reputation, no matter the integrity of that person, it doesn't matter what her job is to get the experts under her to give her information, and then she makes a educated decision. It's not her job to defer to the other guy. Too bad if now, because of her poor judgment having that meeting with Clinton, it makes her look like she might be biased. It's still her job to see what the FBI guy says, see all the information, and then decide whether she wants to go with his recommendation or not. She didn't do her job. She didn't do her job. What do we need her for if she's going to go with whatever somebody whispers in her ear? It's her job to look at all the data, and the buck stops there. Okay, so now let's look at Comey. From what I understand, and this could be inaccurate, but from what I understand, there was this 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. meeting on Saturday for the FBI to interrogate Hillary Clinton. They had this meeting. From what I understand, Comey wasn't there. From what I understand, there was no transcript of the meeting. So consequently, when Comey comes in the next day and says, "Oh, there's no evidence or reason to indict her," this is based upon him not doing his job again, because he basically his agents under him, theoretically, I believe there was a transcript, but theoretically there's no transcript. So the agents come to him later and go, "Oh yeah, we spoke to Hillary, and don't worry about it. She answered all the questions right, and we don't have any grounds for indicting her." So the FBI chief is going to just take the word of these people without knowing exactly what was said. So I don't believe there was no transcript, but that's what they're saying. There's no transcript. So if there's no transcript, then he made a decision based upon his underlings telling him it's cool. That's not his job. His job is to know what was said. If you couldn't be there, his job was to know what was asked, what was said, to have a transcript, whether it was under oath or not. He didn't do his job. So she didn't do her job. He didn't do his job. What does this have to do with you? Okay, with all of us. We need to do our job. There is a list of duties and responsibilities in our job at work. There are a list of responsibilities and duties and commitments in our job in terms of our relationship with our significant others, with our friends, with the world in general. There are things we should be doing. Yeah, and that's doing our job in relationships, doing our job with taking care of ourselves and our health, doing our job with that which we make money from. People don't go the distance. We don't really look at the details. We're now kind of sweeping stuff under the rug, putting it off for somebody else to do, not really caring, not really double checking. We're not doing our job, and it all decays. It all trickles up and down and makes everything worse. And in relationships, we get sloppy and unappreciative. We take people for granted. We let things slide rather than confront them. That's not our job. Is to pay attention in relationships, right? To be considerate and loving and caring and fair and not abusive. And there's so many things we should be doing in our job as whatever. So, yeah. So one, our government is really messed up, and the people in charge are either incompetent or corrupt. No matter how much good they're doing and how much integrity they've got, there's serious red flags and flaws in that system. But why shouldn't there be? They're just people. At this point, we shouldn't expect these people to be better than us, or wiser, or more spiritually aware or alert. I don't think so. Maybe there was a time when we could look up to those people. Maybe there was a time we could look up to Supreme Court judges. Maybe there was a time we could look up to doctors as authorities who could do no wrong and never hurt us. But no. Now all these special people, doctors, lawyers, judges, whatever, who we were able to look up to and believe were like a paragon and a pillar of virtue and integrity, etc. No, they're just like everybody else, with their Achilles heels and their feet of clay, and their errors and stupidity, their arrogance and inconsistency, etc. So we, each of us, if we want to save the planet, save society, save ourselves and our loved ones, we need to pay more attention to detail, and we need to, do our job. All right, thanks. Take care. Peace be with you. See you next time.